General Ricardo Bisaya, Lieutenant General Eduardo Año, Lieutenant General Ray Leonardo Guerrero, Major General Benjamin Madrigal, Police Chief Superintendent Noel Constantino, and Rolando Felix, the officers and enlisted men of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, mga mahal kong kababayan. Now, let me explain the reason why we are here in this place today. You know, ang isang bayan has to have the fighting force, mainly really to protect the integrity of the country and to establish order, hand in hand with the police, which is more on the civilian side. The duty of a president, kagaya ko, is not really to wage war against our citizens, Filipinos, but rather, ang trabaho ko maghanap ng paraan na sana tayo na walang conflict, walang away, at wala namang namamatay ng bala na binibili rin natin para sa ating sariling tao pumatay. It pains me deeply to really do that, to sign papers, documents, to bring in more bullets and bombs just to kill Filipinos. Pero alam mo, much as you would like really to be the shining armor of peace, there are things which we have to take care of. One is that there is a violent group, the CPP, NPA, NDF, na gusto nilang kunin ang authority not by election, but by armed struggle. Alam mo, nakakaintindihan tayo dito, in matters of paano yung ideology mo. Kasi kagaya ko, I'm just a son of a migrant from the Visayas dito sa Mindanao. At ako rin dumaan ng hirap. At ako naman, kami noong 1956, I could still remember even this smell of the wetland na tinayuan ng tatay ko ng bahay. And he was thinking that it was really too big. And yet at that time, Davao was already titled in so many names, even before the Christians came. Kasi walang kasalanan. Nobody, because ang Bureau of Lands noon sa Maynila, in the 50s, late 40s, wala naman tao dito. So binigay sa kanila, and it turned out that pag dumating yung Land of Promise, nagpuntahan doon, ang lahat ng lupa doon may-ari na. But of course, yung mga Espanyol, pati itong mga Amerikano, gave themselves the most of the fat of the land, ika nga. Well, meron tayong sentimento, but it cannot translate into violence. Ang akin dito is gusto ko lang makausap sila and if there is still a chance for us to have peace. Nag-umpisa ako noon sa komunista. Even before I took my oath of office, I sent already Doresa and Bello to talk to the communists and to Sison. They were successful, except for a few hitches. The hitch was, everything was going smooth until nagalit ako kasi itong mga komunista continue to use landmine. Wala sana akong problema kung tabla ito. Then I could order the Defense Department na magtanim ng bala, magtanim ng explosives, pasabugin natin yung bukid na yan. But we are not allowed to do that because we are a convenor and a signatory sa Geneva Convention. It is the international law. And as a government, we have to honor that agreement. Otherwise, you are not a responsible government. So while the talks were going on, and I was expecting the best of the results. Ilang bibisita-bisita ko sa kampo, nag-declare na ako ng ceasefire to show good faith na adre. Mag-usap tayo, ito yung baraha ko. Binigay ko na kaagad. And I was expecting the communists to follow suit. But they did not. Okay lang sa akin. Until such time when I was covering the entire country, going to this military campaign, and then getting the reports from the field, that matay yung, ano ko doon na nakita niya, I not want to talk about it. Wala naman pa, karinorte yung mata. So, tanong ako, bakit ganito? Kaya sa landmine. Kaya pag-uwi ko sa Davao, the day after, or about 2 days after, when I talked to the people there inside, nakaburol yung 1, 2, 3 na sundalo, sabi ko sa mga komunidad, I've lifted the order, and if I hear isang putok lang na landmine na matay ang sundalo, goodbye ang peace talks. I will order the representatives of the government to come home and to tell them, forget about it. Alam mo, they could not even hang on to one barangay in the entire country. May namamatay sa atin. That natural yan eh. There's a conflict, there's a war. But itong mga komunista, masyadong high-handed kung ano. Kaya ako napunde. Kasi ayaw nga mag-declare kaagad ng ceasefire. When I lifted the ceasefire, sabi pa kaagad nila, sana mag-ceasefire kami kagabi. Pati ako. Unsa man ako, PMT? Bubulahin mo ako ng ganon. Kaya nung nag-landmine, I said, long thereafter, sabi ko, isang putok na landmine. Wala na. So, agira tayo. We've been at war with them for 45 years. There are a generation of them na lumaki na lang, namatay na, hindi na makabalik. Kasi magpapakita sila sa pang matsamingan sila, di mapatay rin sila. So para sa akin, kayo, we are not at the losing end. I have so many soldiers to provide you if you want. What? May casualties kami, but we take care of our casualties. Kayo, hindi na kayo nanalo ng election. In Davao City, kung hindi sila sa ticket ko, then left would never have won any seat. In the national, wala ni isa. In the previous one, because they were bright. And the Filipinos maybe thought that we need bright people in Congress. Kaya sila, hindi makawa. Wala naman silang ni taxation, sila pa nga, extortion now eh. They thrive in Mindanao. You know why? Because the pinakamalaking nila, taxation na yan. They survive sa extortion money. So yan ang problema. Andun yung banana plantations because of the climate. There's no typhoon. The mining industry is thriving even if almost all of them have violated the law. Kaya nagwawala si Gina Lopez sa secretary ng DNR. Nandoon lahat eh. Porsintuhan lang yan. Pati yung mga gold mines yan. Ang bayaran dito rin sa Maynila. Transfer of money lang yan. Hindi naman nagkukolekta yung mga tax collector doon. Ano ka lang, ito, bayad mo. Some tax collector or the extortionist will go to them. Tapos yun, bayad. So yan ang istorya natin yan. Tayo, ito namang sa Moro, MIMN, just a little bit of history. Long before the Spaniards came, long before they landed in Leyte, Moro, MIMN, just a little bit of history. Long before the Spaniards came, long before they landed in Leyte, ang Mindanao was already Islam. Nauna through Malaysia, from the Central Mindanao, Central Asia, Afghanistan, Pakistan, travel all the way to Bailan, to Malaysia, then Indonesia umakyat dito. Long before Magellan landed. So when they, kawawa naman yung ating mga minuno, because they were not armed with gunpowder and cannons, and for the first time they were scared of Tumputok, they surrendered. Except Lapu-Lapu, of course. He killed Magellan. Ngayon, ang hindi naintindihan kasi ng tao na baka this is just a rebellion of sorts in Mindanao. Actually, they're trying to raise the issue of sinong may-ari. And of course, it's not may-ari, but who was the first one to be there with what religion. And so because fundamentally, ang dala ng mga Espanyol, Roman Catholic, ayun, hanggang ngayon, from the Spaniards to the Americans and to us. Pero akit tayo, kita, sabi natin na we understand the plight of the Moro. We would like to address the problem. And we would also want just to share with you ang Mindanao. Huwag na ninyong paalisin ang Kristiyanos because you would need a miracle there. But tayong nandyan sa gobyerno, we try to reach out for peace. And fortunately for everybody, tayong lahat, Murad seems to be on talking terms. Japar agrees. And maybe in a few days I'd go to Holo. If I cannot talk to Miswari because he has a warrant of his arrest, then maybe his representative, just to send the message across. Para malaman ko ang dimension. So yan ang purpose natin sa gobyerno. We want peace. Soldiers and all, including the president. But we would not allow abuse sa ating mga tao. NPA, they kept on collecting taxes. Ano ba talagang appeal ng NPA sa bukid? Believe yung mga tao doon sa prinsipyo ni Karl Marx? Do they understand Karl Marx? Talaga bang nag-alam nilang sila Trotsky, the history of communism? Ayaw mong mag-join sa amin. O patay ka. There's nothing intellectual there except by the brute of the bullet. Tayo naman, I understand. So, pero hindi yan pwede na maganon sila ito. Sige, kami, bukas ka. Sino ka? Hindi ako magpapayag ganon because I have the burden of representing the Republic of the Philippines. I would not yun ang ganon. MI will just pray. MN, we keep on praying. But we will never allow an inch of territory taken from us. Yung gagwardya ng Republic of the Philippines and do it. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win, sometimes we die, sometimes we celebrate victory. I just saw the firearms that you have you harvested so many firearms. Kita yung mga importinan. In the long run, sinabi ko nga sa kanila, we can fight for 100 years. Wala talaga kayong makuha. Yung mga anak ninyo, mga komunista, hindi nakauwi. Hindi naka-birthday yan sa anak nila. Mabuti pa yung sundalo ng Pilipinas. Kung gusto niya. Hindi na yung mga tatay ninyo mamatay, hindi na rin makauwi. Hindi mo nga alam kung pati ikaw, you'd live to see your daughter give birth to another added descendant sa buhay mo. Kayo. I'm addressing myself to the committee. Medyo, hindi man ako napipika, pero added descendant sa buhay mo. Kayo. I'm addressing myself to the committee. Medyo, hindi man ako napipika, pero the way you band around. So, yan ang sitwasyon. Tayo, peace. Tayo, ayaw natin nag-ira. Ako, I would never relish to see one soldier die. Kung maaari lang. Kung maaari. Kaya ako, I go out of my way talking. But there was a limit, a parameter to that. And when we reach the boundaries and nothing happens, then there's going to be trouble. That's it. That's the equation, period. Now, I had a chance to visit the AFP Medical Center. And wag na lang yung bakit, but just my surprise is that I'm supposed to be your commander-in-chief. I have not experienced yet. These things crop up, but this could be readily addressed by the commander-in-chief. But the line seems to be blurred. Itong mga problema na ito, this cannot wait yung travel ng papel. Because this can really save lives. So, wala kayo. Mayroon kayong MRI. It's better than CT scan, 1,000 times better than an X-ray. A hyperbaric. That is a machine like yung tangke na pinapasok yung mga divers na nauna sa kanilang bubbles. Depends. Kasi kung magano, kapunahin mo talaga yung bubbles mo. Overtikan mo yan, you suffer the bends. It's a high-pressure vacuum tank na ipasok ka dyan. And ang circulation mo would get better, back to normal. In the treatment of injuries, kasi ang sundalo, in the heat of battle, we might not be able to extract you from the battlefield if you're wounded immediately. So ilang oras pa, and there's the loss of blood and gangrene. Kaya sabi ko, magbili tayo nito. Nandiyan na rin, sabi ko, bilihin natin yan. Lithotripsy. Para sa karamihan kayong mga sundalo, kidney. Kidney. Either you are kulang sa tubig, sa hydration, or asin. Kung na sudan, asin na lang. Asin o gulay. Ano? O ang tinais sa mong kontra, kauno na. Kaya ako, pagalitin mo talaga, I can open you up and eat you in public. Totoo. Sabi ng ano, but then my catheterization. Catheterization? Ano ito? The word? Catheterization. Itong mga heart patients. Wala akong nakita masyadong, mag-uyab-uyab ka ng 5. Kailangan mo talaga to. Magmahal ka ng 5, paski saan-saan yung base assign ka, yun. So I got all of this for you because I thought I needed it. Now, andito na ito for life-saving itong mga to. Para masiguro ko na magamit to, at yung wounded talaga needs to be transported here. I have requested the Secretary of Defense to reconfigure lahat ng mga presidential planes na attached sa opisina ko. At least sa pagkayo, gawin mo na lang ng hospital ambulances. Paski isang wounded na sundalo, pag kailangan niya itong barek, lipad din niya. Never mind the cost. So meron kayong mga dalawa, I think dalawang aeroplano, isang jet, isang Fokker. Hindi ko na kailangan yan. Every time maglangoy na lang ako puntang Davao. No, really. I'll take the commercial flights. Ang security, sila, okay ba niyan? Kasi buti pa nga doon sa commercial, ini-inspeksyon, tayo, diretso lang tayong pasok. Maya-maya may pumasok doon na babae, hindi mo kilala. Sino ka, ma'am? Mabuti pa yung sapal, pati kinakap-kap pa. So, I do not have yung mga itong bakukang dyan sa... You can have it for your use. Then, let me talk about drugs. Kasi, sandali lang. Pagbigyan lang ninyo ako. Sabi nila, this will create a constitutional crisis. Tama. Walang problema yan. Ganito yan. Itong nag-surrender ngayon, medyo, this might be unsettling to hear sa kanya na mga judges niya, sabit. At sabi niya, hindi ko alam kung bakit ganito. Yung ibang judges na nandyan, patay na o napailis na sa pwesto for ignorance of the law. And maybe telegraph and corruption. Bakit? I just wanted to impress upon the public na noon pa alam na namin ang negosyo ninyo. Since your name is there, leave it and I will publish it the way it is there. Bakit ko exempt yung mga namatay? Kagaya nung nakuha na precursor sa Apayao na nilibing. Tapos sabi nung kapatid niya, 2 taon naman namatay ang kapatid ko yung nagdala nito, inilibing niya. See? So gusto ko malaman ng tao kung sino nagtanim doon. At hindi lang yung mga pulis doon. I want the Philippines to know who are the judges, who are the soldiers, who are the police generals, pati yung mga nasa baba, sangkot sa droga. Pati yung patay na, correct. At saka, pag namatayan sila, hindi naman sila magtawag sa amin. You do not call the PNP headquarters na yung masabit ng anak ko o kapatid ko na naman namatay na, nasagasaan, diabetes. So, why should we bother? Pag napasok yung pangalan mo dyan, it's not, personally, it's not mine. I just entered the presidency about 2 months back. It is the work over time of the many years that they are there. Hindi mapasok yung pangalan mo dyan kung sabihin lang na politika. Because they have to be revalidated. And itong sa PDM, si General Peña, is very good. He was my RD, he was my chief of police noon, CD. Kaya ko siya nilagay dyan kasi talagang may tiwala ako. Just like Delphine Rolensana, matagal kami magkaibigan sa Davao. Kilala ko sila. I do not think that they would prepare a list with lies there. At hindi gagawa ni Isidro sa akin yan. Ngayon sabi ni, ang problema nito, tayo Pilipino kayo mga sundalo alam ninyo yan. Sabi niya, huwag mag-surrender kung walang warrant of arrest. True. Anong sinabi ko? Kayong mga huwes, mag-report kayo sa Supreme Court. Wala akong pina-aresto, Chief Justice. Sabi ko, kayong mga pulis, pag-report kay Bato, I never accused anybody except to read their names. Nasangkot sa droga. Where? What? How? When did it happen? Never. It was not an accusatorial utterance. Rather, it was in consonance with my duty as the President of the Philippines to let everybody know sino yung mga tao sa tabi-tabi mo to spare you the agony and grief of a child being raped, a child na ginasto mo, yung mga kababayan natin, napakamatay ng trabaho na doon sa Middle East, yung lalaki sa Qatar, yung isa sa Dubai, ang babae, only to hear na yung anak nila nalulong sa droga and the wasted years of toil and sweat. Tapos yung isa na biktima, yung isa ang lalaki nalulong, yung isang anak ni rape, inakyat sa bardo. You know, Chief Justice, there was a slaughter going on. And mind you, you were appointed by the government there in your office as Chief Justice at the time na walang ginawa ang gobyerno. And why would you wait for a warrant of arrest? There are now 600,000, hundreds of thousands of Filipinos addicted and victims. Makikita ka ng warrant. Madam Chief Justice, you must be joking. You must be joking. Dalawa tayo abogado, kayong lahat sa Supreme Court. Do you know how long it would take government to secure a warrant of arrest? Ako, fiscal ako noon. The shortest time that I can work on, pero na lang kung let this case be filed. But when you study the case by the thousands, by the hundreds, every day, how can you file the case immediately without being unfair also to the guy who is being accused? Pinag-aaralan namin yan, Chief Justice. So fiscal ako noon, it is not that easy to get a warrant. Pagdating sa amin, pagdating ng abogado, I would say, Fiscal, we would like a postponement because this is the first time that I've read the affidavits and the witnesses' testimony. Gano'n yan, 600. Pagdating sa korte niyan, hearing, people of the Philippines versus Rodrigo Duterte for murder. Ayan, Fiscal, sabi ng judge, Your Honor, ready. Affidavit, wala na kaming interview na. Kung anong binigay doon sa polis, yun na yun. Tanong ako doon lang. Oh, counsel, Your Honor, we ask for a postponement. You have to study the case. Invariably, it is granted, Madam Justice. Magtanong ka na lang, abogado ka eh. Do not tell me na hindi ka dumaan ng pagka-abogado mo. You must have practiced a bit. Pagdating yan, next hearing, Your Honor, assuming they are on bail, Your Honor, client ko may lagnat. Ito yung medical certificate. Basi kanino ko niya, baski peke ko tatanggapin niya. Then the next, Your Honor, several postponements. One single case in the Republic of the Philippines for the warrant to issue is a minimum of 2 months, 3 months. Pagdating sa korte, Madam Justice, would take forever. Pag natalo, aakyat yan sa Court of Appeals. It would sit there for about 2 years. Sa inyo sa Supreme Court, tell me, what was the fastest decision that you made in criminal cases? It is not strange to us on sabihin at last ma-publish after 10 years na convict. Now you are asking for a warrant of arrest for 600,000 Filipinos. In the meantime, yung bangag, anong gawin mo? Let them stay there. What? To resume their criminal activities? To slaughter again? To rape? Ayong isang araw, nag-chop-chop ng tao, yung mga anak. Ma'am, huwag tayo magbulahan and do not force the issue. I respect your comments, but it is a, how would I call it? It's a rigmarole to me. Alam ko na alam mo eh. Huwag kami niya itong isa pa. Oh. Just because kayo ang Supreme Court. You order me, I will not follow you. Orderan mo ako. Hala kayo dyan. I will order the military and the police to save lives. I am not saying that they should kill them. But in the meantime that you are projecting your theories there is crime on the streets. Please, please. Do not, sabi mo, create a constitutional issue. There will be. Pero huwag mo akong pasundin. Sinabi ko sa inyo at sana narinig ka, ma'am, in this presidency of mine, wala akong dreams dito. But when I said, I will stake my honor, my life, and my presidency, ito. I can retire to the let go of the presidency tomorrow and be happy with my life. But I have a problem for my country because I was elected by 5 million Filipinos with a sheer margin of 6 million. Saan ka nakakita yan? Hindi na ako kilala. Wala akong pera, wala akong makinarya. So saan ko kinuha yung 6 million na nagsabi na because the messaging was there. Yung 6 million na hindi ako kilala, ang alam nila, I said, there will be no corruption in government. And rest assured. Ngayon na, sinasabi ko, itaya mo yan. There will be no corruption in this government. Ito, honor. Ano pa? Sabi ko, drugs. Lahat ng mga anak ninyo hindi na makauwi, kundi masaksak, mahold up. And there was slaughter every day. And you are just interested in the warrant of arrest. Parinig ninyo kay... Is that all? Maghintay sa warrant of arrest. In the meantime, crime is rampaging. Oh, come on. Bago ka 6 years yung dumaan, walang ginawa yung... Look what happened. Ako 2 months na ako dito. So, ikaw ang niwarningan ko, hindi ako. Do not create a crisis because I will order everybody in the executive department not to honor you. Tumong prangkahan. Nakialam kayo ng may patay. O di, pa-imbestiga natin. Salvage, hindi namin trabaho yan. Bakit ko tataliin yung tao kung gusto kong patay? Di barilin ko na lang isang beses sa ulo. Why would we waste time ng... You know, long before pumasok kami, nag-create na kami ng intriga. Tamputin namin to, sabi namin, yang si Lito ang nagturo sa iyo. Pagdating kay Lito, sabi namin, yung isa ang nagturo sa iyo. That is what you really want. It is a legitimate game there na we plant intrigues para magpatayan niya sila. What would be the purpose of government? I mean, but kung may pulis siya, sipain, wasting your time, barilin mo sa ulo, tapos. You know, ma'am, I've been mayor of Davao City for 23 years. I've been in conflict with a lot of criminals. The mere fact that they are into shabu, sira ang utak niya. Kaya invariably, ang paranoia, you better ask the doctor there, paranoid yan sila. May naghanap sa kanya, ganun talaga, ang asawa niya nangangaliwa. Kaya pinapatay nila yung mga asawa. Crazy. You must realize that. Kaya sila sabi na bakit classic na pagdating ng pulis patay, ma'am, yung mga pulis, pag naglabas yan, hindi naman yung gagong magsolo lakad yan. There are always 3 or 4 with them. So kung lumalaban ito, yung isa may confrontation, yung mga pulis nakaposisyon na yan. Naturalmente, pagka any hostile, ang order ko sa pulis, pag may magbunot ng ganan, barilin mo. Huwag mo hintayin na paglabas niyan, apple. Bakit? Tingnan ninyo. Yung pulis sa Magsaysay, Municipality of Magsaysay, Davao del Sur. Tapos isang pulis tinamaan. I don't know how many policemen will die today also in the fight against war. Do not be too, kasi tingin nyo, pulis, ganon. Noon yun. Kaya pati dito, pulis kasali. Kung judge, no, he was not handling drug cases. Ma'am, kamali ka. Akala ko ba, to be there, you have to be seasoned. Tawag lang, pare, pakitawag yung kaibigan mong judge. Hindi naman sila ganon rin. Hindi dadating yung pangalan nila, walang personal, hindi naman kilala ng pulis yan. So you say na, you're surprised that dumating yung... Hindi dadating yung kita mo yung nasa pangalan. Yung mga pangalan, kita mo mga mayor, kita mo nakaharap sa camera, parang tala-tala. So you say na, you're surprised that dumating yung... Hindi darating yun pa. Kita mo yung nasa pangalan. Yung mga pangalan, kita mo mga mayor. Kita mo nakaharap sa kamera, parang tala-tala. Kita mo, pawis na, wala ka. Ngayon, bakit mo, intelligence lang yan, bakit mo basahin yan? Ha? Then, ikaw ang kingpin sa judiciary. Ako, presidente. Ako may trabaho, ikaw wala. Walang mga judges na papatrol ng daan. Walang mga sheriff ninyo na naghuli na. Yan ang mabigat na problema ko na inherit ko sa dumadaan, pati yung gobyerno naglagay sa iyo dyan. Please, huwag mo akong order. Hindi ako gago. If this continues, pigilan mo ako. Sige. Pag nagwala na, or would you rather that I will declare martial law? Pinapatay ang Pilipino. I grieve for so many women raped, men killed, infants raped. Tapos ipitin mo ako. I have to clean. Siguro, ma'am, I can give you an idea. Pagka binilisan lang yung federalism at nalinis ko sa droga ang Pilipinas, I am ready to retire. Kung ma-ready yung federalism by 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I will give way and I tell you, I am good for retirement. Wala akong ano dyan sa presidente. Matagal na kasi akong mayor, pareho lang eh. Except that the country is much bigger. At marami akong my duties to the troops of the Republic of the Philippines. Kayong mga sundalo, do not be... Diyan lang kayo. Pilipino kayo, manood kayo. Sino yung tama? Kung ako ang tama, di patalsik din nyo ako. But isipin ninyo ang problema. Madala ba ng warrant of arrest? Kayo, nakatikim naman kayo magdemanda. Ilang years na yan dyan sa korte. The sheer number of cases cannot be absorbed by the ordinary judge na matanda na. And the prosecutor. O hindi lang yan sila kung bata pa. Kagaya ko noong fiscal ako, I really write my resolutions stating the case will be filed because 1, 2, 3, 4 recommendation. Ganon yan. Please go to reality. Huwag ka masyadong doon sa itaas. And besides, I said, if the policemen and the military guys doing cases against drugs and in the performance of their duties, I will protect them. Nobody will go to jail. Bahala na sabi ko, I will not. Magkakaroon tayo ng problema sa Republic of the Philippines. I have my oath. I will honor the Constitution. I will defend the Constitution to a T. But huwag kang maghanap ng tawag sa Bisaya, Bikel. Do not create a conflict there because hindi tayo magkasundo. And to the troops, maintain your loyalty to the flag and to the Constitution. I do not want you to nurture love or loyalty sa isang tao lang. I do not need it, actually. Kung magdating ang panahon, we go into a crossroads, you decide. You decide. Pero ako, hindi ako magsunod niyan. And please, do not create a confrontation, a constitutional one. Talo tayong lahat dyan. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your very inspiring message. At this point, we request the President to lead the awarding ceremony.
Naging talumpati ng Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte sa kanyang pagbisita sa mga tropa ng militar sa Cagayan de Oro City. At iginiit ng Pangulo sa kanyang naging talumpati ang patuloy na pagsisikap ng pamahalaan para makamit ang pangmatagalang kapayapaan. Ito ay sa pamamagitan ng pakikipag-usap at patuloy na pakikipag-ugnayan sa mga grupong CPP-NPA, MILF at MNLF. Ngunit inulit nga ng Pangulo ang kanyang una nang naging babala sa New People's Army na tigilan na nito ang paggamit ng landmines dahil kung magkagayon ay ito ang magiging sanhi ng pagwawakas ng usapang pangkapayapaan sa pagitan ng CPP, NPA, NDF at ng pamahalaan. Sa usapin naman ng droga at iginiit ng Pangulo na patuloy pa rin ang pagsisikap ng pamahalaan na sumpuin itong isa sa pinakamalaking anyay problema ng ating bansa, ang illegal na droga. At siniguro ng Pangulo ang pagprotekta sa kapakanan ng mga pulis na masasangkot sa kaso sa pagtupad sa kanilang tungkulin. At siniguro din ng Pangulo ang kanyang pagtalima sa konstitusyon. Anya, magkakaroon ng malaking problema ang mga hindi tatalima sa konstitusyon sa pagtupad ng kanilang tungkulin. Pinaalalahanan din ng Pangulong Duterte ang mga miyembro ng militar na maging tapat sa konstitusyon ng ating bansa at hindi lamang sa iisang tao.